Sir, it costs us nothing to show basic human kindness.
Your kindness doesn't pay my bills. My tools, my space, my rules.
I'm on my break. I'll pay for the parts myself. All she needs is 10 minutes and a little decency.
You don't tell me what's decent in my shop. You want to run a charity? Do it somewhere else.
You're fired. So helping an old woman is a fireable offense here?
Understood.
I didn't do it to be noticed, sir. I just couldn't leave her stranded.
This is the story of Jamal Thompson, a 34-year-old mechanic who believed that kindness didn't need a receipt. Every day, he showed up to Patterson's auto repair in South Memphis with grease under his nails and hope in his heart. He fixed engines, yes, but more than that, he fixed people's days. What his boss, Richard Patterson, didn't understand was that Jamal's real skill wasn't just turning wrenches. It was seeing people, really seeing them. And that gift was about to change everything. Early morning at Patterson's auto repair. The shop is bustling, cars on lifts, the sound of power tools, the smell of oil and rubber. Jamal Thompson, a lean black man in his mid-30s with kind eyes and permanently grease-stained hands, works under the hood of a silver sedan. His co-worker, Marcus, 28, approaches with a clipboard. "Marcus, Jamal, you got that Lexus done yet?" Mr. Patterson's been asking every 10 minutes. Jamal, not looking up, focused. "Almost there. Transmission was worse than I thought. Whoever did the last service didn't flush it properly." Marcus, "Yeah, well, you know how Patterson is. Billable hours, billable hours, billable hours." Jamal, wiping his hands. "I know, but I'm not going to half do it just to push it out faster. Mrs. Chun depends on this car to get to her nursing shifts." Marcus, shaking his head with a smile. "Man, you care too much. That's going to bite you one day." Richard Patterson, 52, the owner, a stocky white man with a perpetual scowl and expensive watch, emerges from his office, tablet in hand. Patterson, loud, irritated. "Thompson, you done with the Lexus yet? Customer's been calling." Jamal, straightening up, respectful. "Just finishing up, Mr. Patterson. Should be ready in 20 minutes. Patterson, 20 minutes? I quoted her 2 hours ago. You're costing me money, Thompson. Jamal, "Sir, the transmission needed." Patterson, cutting him off. "I don't need a lecture on car parts. I need cars done fast so I can bill and move on. You understand? Time is money, and you're burning both." Jamal, calmly. "Yes, sir. I understand." Narrator. Richard Patterson had inherited the auto shop from his father 15 years ago. He'd inherited the building, the equipment, the reputation, but not the heart. His father had built the business on trust and care. Richard ran it like a factory, and in his eyes, mechanics like Jamal were just expensive labor. Later that afternoon, the shop is quieter. Jamal is cleaning his tools when an elderly black woman, MRS, Evelyn Hartford, 78, approaches on foot, pushing an old bicycle with a flat tire. MRS, Hartford, hesitant, speaking to no one in particular. "Excuse me? Is there anyone here who might help me with my bicycle?" Other mechanics glance at her, then look away, busy with their work. She's clearly not a paying customer. Jamal, immediately walking over, wiping his hands. "Yes, ma'am. I can help you. What seems to be the problem?" MRS, Hartford, relieved, almost tearful. "Oh, thank you, young man. My tire went flat on the way to the grocery store. I know this is a car shop, but I didn't know where else to go. The bike shop is 3 miles away, and I can't walk that far with my hip." Jamal, kneeling down to examine the bike. "Don't you worry about it, ma'am. Let me take a look." He inspects the tire. It's not just flat, it's worn through. The bike itself is ancient, held together with rust and determination. Jamal, "This tire's pretty worn. You've been riding on this for a while, haven't you?" Mrs. Hartford, "It's all I have, son. Can't afford a car. This bike gets me to the store, to church, to visit my grandson." Voice breaking slightly. "I'm sorry to bother you. I know you work on cars. I can try to walk it somewhere else." Jamal, gently. "No, ma'am. You're not bothering anyone. Sit down over here in the shade, and I'll fix this for you. Won't take long." Patterson emerges from his office, coffee in hand, and spots Jamal working on the bicycle. Patterson, walking over, voice sharp. "Thompson, what are you doing?" Jamal, not looking up, focused on removing the tire. "Helping this lady with her bike, sir. Won't take more than 15 minutes. Patterson, "Helping her? Is she paying?" Jamal, pause, still working. "No, sir. But." Patterson, "Then stop. Right now. This is a business, not a charity." Jamal, looking up, respectful but firm. "Mr. Patterson, I'm on my break. I'm not using shop time. And I'm just." Patterson, louder. "I don't care if you're on your break. You're using my air compressor, my tools, my space. Everything here costs money. If she's not paying, she's not a customer. Tell her to leave." MRS, Hartford, standing up, embarrassed. "Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to cause trouble. I'll just." Jamal, standing, facing Patterson. "Sir, with respect, I'll pay for the materials myself. I've got a spare tube at home I can bring tomorrow." I just need 10 more minutes. Patterson. No. I said no, and I meant it. To Mrs. Hartford, dismissive. Ma'am, this is an auto repair shop. We fix cars, not bicycles. There's a Goodwill down the street. Maybe they can help you. Mrs. Hartford's face falls. She nods, starts to push her broken bike away. Jamal. Quietly, to Patterson. That's not right, sir. Patterson. Turning on him, eyes cold. What did you just say to me? Jamal. I said that's not right. She's an elderly woman who needs help. It costs us nothing to show basic human kindness. Patterson. Stepping closer, voice low and dangerous. Let me tell you something, Thompson. I've been watching you. You spend too much time chatting with customers. You take too long on simple jobs. You care more about being everyone's friend than making money. And now you're questioning my decisions in MY shop? Jamal, meeting his eyes, calm. I'm just doing what I think is right. Patterson. Well, your right doesn't pay the bills. You know what your problem is? People like you think the world owes you something. That if you smile and work hard, everyone's going to pat you on the back. But this is business. And in business, you follow the boss's rules or you hit the road. Narrator. There it was. People like you. 2 words that carried the weight of 1,000 assumptions. Jamal heard it. Marcus heard it. Mrs. Hartford, still within earshot, heard it. And everyone knew exactly what it meant. Jamal, voice still steady, but with an edge. I follow your rules, Mr. Patterson. I show up on time. I do quality work. I treat customers with respect. If that's not enough. Patterson, it's not. Because you just questioned me in front of a customer. You undermine my authority. And you know what? I'm tired of it. Pause, making a decision. You're done. Clear out your locker. You're fired. Silence falls over the shop. Marcus stops working. Other mechanics freeze. Mrs. Hartford gasps. Jamal, quietly. You're firing me for wanting to help an old woman fix her bike? Patterson, I'm firing you for insubordination. For wasting company resources. For not understanding how business works. Pack your things and get out. Jamal, Mr. Patterson, I've worked here for 6 years. I've never been late. Never called in sick. I have bills, rent. Patterson, cold. Should have thought of that before you decided to run a charity on my dime. You've got 20 minutes. After that, I'm calling security. Jamal stands there for a moment, processing. Then, with quiet dignity, he nods. Jamal, all right, if that's your decision. He walks to his locker, starts removing his personal tools. His hands shake slightly, not from fear, but from the injustice of it all. Mrs. Hartford approaches him, tears in her eyes. Mrs. Hartford. Oh, son, I'm so sorry. This is my fault. I shouldn't have. Jamal, gently. No, ma'am. This isn't your fault. Not even a little bit. Pulls out his phone. Give me your address. I'll come by tonight after I pick up that tire tube, and I'll fix your bike properly. Free of charge. Mrs. Hartford. But you just lost your job because of me. Jamal. I lost my job because of him. Not you. Never you. Small smile. Besides, a promise is a promise. Narrator. What Jamal didn't tell Mrs. Hartford, what he didn't tell anyone, was that he'd been sending out applications for months. Not to other repair shops, but to graduate schools. MIT, Stanford, Georgia Tech. Because 6 years ago, Jamal Thompson had graduated summa cum laude from Morehouse College with a degree in mechanical engineering. He'd taken the job at Patterson's to pay off student loans, to take care of his sick mother, to stay close to home. He could have worked anywhere. But he'd chosen loyalty, hard work, and community. And now, those choices seemed like mistakes. 20 minutes later, Jamal walks out carrying a cardboard box of tools. Marcus follows him to the parking lot. Marcus, man, this is messed up. Patterson's been looking for a reason to get rid of you. He's intimidated by you. You know that, right? Jamal, maybe. Doesn't matter now. Marcus, what are you going to do? Jamal, loading the box into his beat-up Honda. Same thing I always do. Keep moving forward. Pause. And fix an old lady's bike. That evening, Jamal arrives at Mrs. Hartford's modest home in South Memphis, a small, well-kept house with flowers in the yard. He carries his toolbox and a new tire tube. Mrs. Hartford opens the door, surprised and emotional. Mrs. Hartford, you came. I didn't think you actually would, after everything that happened. Jamal, I said I would, ma'am. Let me take a look at that bike. Jamal works in the driveway as the sun sets. He doesn't just fix the flat tire. He adjusts the brakes, oils the chain, tightens the handlebars, even cleans the rust off the frame. Mrs. Hartford brings him iced tea and watches him work. Mrs. Hartford, you're a good man, Jamal. Your mother raised you right. Jamal, smiling softly. She tried. Lost her 2 years ago to cancer. Mrs. Hartford, I'm sorry, son. I lost my husband 10 years ago. I know that kind of empty. Jamal, that's why I do this, I guess. Fix things. Help people. It's what she would have wanted. MRS. Hartford, watching him closely. You're too smart to just be a mechanic, aren't you? Jamal, glances up, surprised. What makes you say that? Mrs. Hartford, the way you work. The way you think through problems. You remind me of my son. Pause. He was an engineer. Brilliant mind. Passed away 5 years ago in a car accident. Jamal, I'm so sorry, Mrs. Hartford. Mrs. Hartford, it's Evelyn. Please. And don't be sorry, just keep being who you are. The world needs more people like you. Hesitates. Can I ask you something? What's your dream? If you could do anything? Jamal, finishing the bike, testing the brakes. Honestly, I want to design sustainable transportation systems. Electric vehicles, public transit solutions for underserved communities. I've been applying to grad programs, but trails off, money's tight, and now without a job. Mrs. Hartford, don't give up on that dream, Jamal. Promise me. Jamal, standing, wiping his hands. I'll try, Mrs. Hartford. Your bike's all set. Should be good for another few thousand miles. Mrs. Hartford, how much do I owe you? Jamal, nothing. Like I said, free of charge. MRS. Hartford, reaching into her pocket. At least let me give you something for the parts. Jamal, no, ma'am. Really, just pay it forward when you get the chance. That's enough. Mrs. Hartford watches him leave, tears in her eyes. She pulls out her phone and dials a number. MRS. Hartford, into phone. Jonathan, it's Grandma Evelyn. I need you to look into something for me. There's a young man I just met, Jamal Thompson, and I think he might be exactly what the Foundation has been looking for. Narrator. What Jamal didn't know, what he couldn't have known, was that Evelyn Hartford wasn't just a kind old woman on a bike. She was Evelyn Hartford, widow of Thomas Hartford, the late founder of Hartford Industries, one of the largest automotive manufacturing companies in the South. And her grandson, Jonathan Hartford, was the current CEO, a man who'd inherited not just a fortune, but his grandmother's belief that character mattered more than credentials. The next morning, Jamal wakes up in his small apartment, unemployed for the first time in 6 years. He makes coffee, opens his laptop, starts searching job listings. His phone rings. Unknown number. Jamal. Hello? Voice on phone. Professional, female. Is this Jamal Thompson? Jamal. Yes, this is he. Voice. Mr. Thompson, my name is Catherine Mills, and I'm calling on behalf of Hartford Industries. Are you available this morning for a meeting? Jamal. Confused. Hartford Industries? I'm sorry, I think you might have the wrong person. I didn't apply. Catherine. No, Mr. Thompson. You didn't apply, but someone recommended you very highly. Mr. Jonathan Hartford would like to meet with you personally. Would 10 a.m. work? Jamal. Checking the time. It's 8:30 a.m. Yes, I can make that work. Catherine. Excellent. I'm sending you the address now. And Mr. Thompson? Dress comfortably. This is about potential, not formality. Narrator. 1 hour later, Jamal found himself pulling into the parking lot of Hartford Industries headquarters, a gleaming glass building on the edge of Memphis that represented everything he dreamed of as an engineering student. His beat-up Honda looked absurdly out of place among the Mercedes and BMWs in the visitor spaces. Inside the Hartford Industries lobby, Jonathan Hartford, 42, approaches, a tall black man in an expensive but casual suit, wearing glasses and a warm smile. Jonathan. Jamal Thompson? Jamal, standing, nervous. Yes, sir. That's me. Jonathan, extending his hand. Jonathan Hartford. Thank you for coming on such short notice. Gestures toward elevators. Come with me. I want to show you something. They ride the elevator to the top floor in silence. Jonathan leads Jamal to a corner office with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city. Jonathan, have a seat. Sits across from him. So, Jamal, my grandmother called me last night. Told me about what happened at Patterson's Auto Repair. And about what you did afterward. Jamal, realization dawning. Mrs. Hartford is your grandmother? Jonathan, she is. And she's also the sharpest judge of character I've ever known. When she tells me I need to meet someone, I listen. Jamal, sir, I didn't help her to get anything in return. Jonathan, holding up a hand, smiling. I know. That's exactly why I wanted to meet you. Leans forward. Tell me about your education. Jamal, I graduated from Morehouse. Mechanical engineering. Summa cum laude. Jonathan, and you've been working at an auto repair shop for 6 years. Why? Jamal, honest. Student loans. My mother got sick, cancer, medical bills. I needed steady income, and Patterson's was hiring. I always planned to go back to engineering, but shrugs. Life happened. Jonathan, what are your plans now? Jamal, graduate school, MIT, Stanford, Georgia Tech. I've applied to all 3 for their sustainable transportation programs. But without a job, I don't know if I can afford. Jonathan, interrupting, intense. Forget graduate school. For now, at least. Jamal, confused. I'm sorry. Jonathan. Jamal, Hartford Industries is launching a new division, electric vehicles and sustainable transit systems for underserved urban communities. It's a billion-dollar initiative, and I need someone to lead the research and development team. Someone who understands engineering, yes, but also someone who understands community. Someone who sees people, not just problems. Jamal, stunned. Sir, I'm honored, but I don't have the experience for that kind of position. I've been turning wrenches for 6 years. Jonathan, you've been solving problems for 6 years. You've been building trust with customers. You've been showing up every day with integrity. That's harder to teach than engineering. Pulls out a folder. I looked into your background. Your undergraduate thesis was on affordable electric vehicle conversion for low-income neighborhoods. It's brilliant, and it's exactly what this company needs. Narrator. Jamal sat there, speechless. 24 hours ago, he'd been fired for helping an old woman. Now, he was being offered his dream job by her grandson. Sometimes, the universe didn't just open doors, it tore down walls. Jamal, voice shaking. Mr. Hartford, why are you doing this? You don't even know me. Jonathan, because my grandmother knows you. And that's enough. But also because I believe that talent and character matter more than pedigree. You could have walked away from her yesterday. You were unemployed, frustrated, probably scared about your future. But you still fixed her bike. That tells me everything I need to know. Slides of paper across the desk. This is an offer letter. Director of Sustainable Mobility Research. Salary, benefits, relocation assistance if needed, and a budget to build your team from scratch. Plus, we'll cover your graduate school tuition, part-time, whichever program you choose. Consider it professional development. Jamal, staring at the paper, tears forming. I don't know what to say. Jonathan, say yes, and then help me change the world. Jamal looks up, and for the first time in 24 hours, he smiles, really smiles. Jamal, yes, absolutely yes. Narrator, but the story doesn't end there. Because sometimes, justice isn't just about the good being rewarded. Sometimes, it's about the truth catching up to those who thought they were untouchable. 2 days later, Patterson's Auto Repair. Richard Patterson is in his office, reviewing invoices, when his phone rings. Patterson's Auto Repair. Voice, male, professional. Mr. Patterson, this is David Chun from Hartford Industries Procurement Division. I'm calling regarding our service contract. Patterson, sitting up straighter. Hartford Industries? Yes, of course. How can I help you? David, we're calling to inform you that Hartford Industries will be terminating our service contract with Patterson's Auto Repair, effective immediately. Patterson, stunned. What? Why? We've had that contract for 8 years. David, yes, and we've been satisfied with the service. However, we recently learned about an incident involving one of your former employees, a Jamal Thompson. We've decided to take our business elsewhere. Patterson, Thompson, he was insubordinate. I had every right to fire him. David, perhaps. But Hartford Industries values companies that share our commitment to community and character. After reviewing the circumstances, we've determined that your business practices don't align with our values. Patterson, this is about one employee, one incident? David, it's about what that incident reveals, Mr. Patterson. Good day. The line goes dead. Patterson sits there, stunned. His secretary knocks, enters. Secretary, Mr. Patterson, there's someone here to see you. Says it's important. Patterson, irritated. I'm not in the mood for walk-ins. Tell them to make an appointment. Secretary, sir, it's Jonathan Hartford. From Hartford Industries. Patterson's face goes white. Patterson, send him in. Jonathan enters, impeccably dressed, carrying a folder. His expression is neutral, but his eyes are cold. Jonathan, Mr. Patterson, thank you for seeing me. Patterson, standing, forcing a smile, extending his hand. Mr. Hartford, this is unexpected. To what do I owe the pleasure? Jonathan, not shaking his hand, staying standing. I'll make this brief. You fired Jamal Thompson 2 days ago. Patterson, oh, I see he's been complaining. Look, Mr. Hartford, I run a business. Sometimes tough decisions. Jonathan, he wasn't complaining. He didn't say a word about you, actually. My grandmother did. The woman whose bike he fixed after you kicked her out of your shop. Patterson, realization dawning, face paling. That was your grandmother? Jonathan, it was. And what she told me about how you treated her, and him, told me everything I needed to know about your character. Places the folder on the desk. That's a list of every company in Memphis that does business with Hartford Industries. I've personally contacted each one and told them about what happened. Several have already decided to take their business elsewhere. Others are reconsidering. Patterson, desperate now. Mr. Hartford, please. I didn't know. I was having a bad day. It was a misunderstanding. Jonathan, it wasn't a misunderstanding. You fired a good man for showing basic human decency. You treated my grandmother like she was worthless because she didn't fit your definition of a paying customer. And in doing so, you revealed exactly who you are. Patterson, please, I have employees, overhead. This will ruin me. Jonathan, then maybe you should have thought about that before you decided that profit mattered more than people. Turns to leave, then pauses. Oh, and Mr. Patterson? Jamal Thompson is now the Director of Sustainable Mobility Research at Hartford Industries. He's going to change the automotive industry. And you're going to spend the rest of your career knowing you had him working for you and threw him away like garbage. Jonathan walks out, leaving Patterson standing there, destroyed. Narrator. Within a month, Patterson's Auto Repair lost 40% of its contracts. Richard Patterson sold the business 6 months later at a significant loss. Meanwhile, Jamal Thompson was already assembling his research team, designing the next generation of affordable electric vehicles. Epilogue, 6 months later. Hartford Industries Research Facility. Jamal stands in a gleaming lab, surrounded by his team. Engineers, designers, technicians of all backgrounds. On the wall is a prototype electric vehicle designed for urban communities. Mrs. Evelyn Hartford enters, using a cane but smiling widely. Jamal immediately walks over. Jamal, Mrs. Hartford, what are you doing here? Mrs. Hartford, Jonathan told me you were unveiling the prototype today. I wanted to see it. Looks around the lab, eyes shining. Look at you. Look at all of this. Jamal, none of this would have happened without you. Mrs. Hartford, no, sweetheart. This happened because of who you are. I just made a phone call. Takes his hand. My husband used to say that character is what you do when no one's watching. You fixed my bike when you had every reason not to. When you just lost your job. When the world had been unfair to you. And you did it with grace and kindness. Jamal, voice thick with emotion. You changed my life. Mrs. Hartford. You changed your own life, Jamal. You just needed someone to see you. Really see you. Looks at the prototype vehicle. And now, you're going to change thousands of other lives. Later, Jamal stands alone in the lab, looking at the prototype. He pulls out his phone and dials. Jamal. Marcus? It's Jamal. Yeah, I know it's been a while. Listen, I'm building a team here at Hartford Industries. I need a lead mechanic who understands community, who cares about quality over speed. You interested? Yeah, full benefits, competitive salary, and we're changing the world. No, for real this time. Great. When can you start? Narrator. Jamal Thompson didn't just get a job that day. He got a purpose. He got validation that kindness isn't weakness, that character isn't currency, but it's worth more than gold. And he got proof that sometimes, the smallest acts of compassion create the biggest ripples. Jamal riding through the city on a bike, his own now, not Mrs. Hartford's. He passes Patterson's auto repair, now with a for sale sign in the window. He doesn't stop. He doesn't gloat. He just keeps pedaling forward. Narrator. This is the lesson, that the people we dismiss, the kindness we think is wasted, the dignity we choose even when the world doesn't reward it. These things matter. They echo. They return. Not always immediately. Not always obviously. But they do return. Narrator. Richard Patterson thought he was running a business. But he forgot that businesses are built by people, for people. And when you forget the human element, when you trade decency for profit, you lose more than money. You lose your soul. Narrator. Jamal Thompson lost a job fixing cars. But he found a career changing lives. He lost a paycheck. But he gained a purpose. And all because he chose, in a moment when he had every reason to be bitter, to fix an old woman's bike. Narrator. Sometimes justice doesn't look like revenge. Sometimes it looks like a phone call, a recommendation, a door opening. And sometimes, the people we help in our darkest moments are angels in disguise, waiting to show us that our character was never invisible. It was just being tested. And when we pass that test, the universe doesn't just reward us. It elevates us. Narrator. Jamal Thompson didn't need to tear Richard Patterson down. Time, consequences, and karma did that work for him. All Jamal needed to do was stay true to who he was. And in the end, that was enough. That was more than enough. That was everything. The world is watching, not for your credentials, your resume, or your status, but for your character. In moments when you have nothing to gain and everything to lose, the kindness you show, the integrity you maintain, and the dignity you choose define who you truly are. And those definitions echo louder than any title, any paycheck, or any position of power. Treat people well not because of what they can do for you, but because of who you choose to be. That choice changes everything.